Hey peeps, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about a few cool Cataclysm changes. First up, one of my most liked changes is the fact that you get 5% main stat when you wear your full armor type, meaning in raids as an elemental shaman, you will no longer lose your mail gear to holy paladins. It is fully you. Especially since caster gear is also no longer wanted by enhancement shamans due to the fact that they just destroyed the talent that converts spell power into attack power. Another cool thing is in the random dungeon finder, people can no longer roll need on items they cannot use. Of course there's exceptions like rings and neck, but as an example, a warrior can no longer need a mail item because of the 5% main stat full armor type thing that they added. Guilds are super different in Cataclysm. Yes, you still have the same thing where you invite people and you can write into guild chat, but the guild system got a big overhaul. The guild now has a level system, which each level giving you another perk. As an example, at level 1 you get extra experience from completing quests and killing monsters. You also get reputation buffs on certain levels. You take less durability when you die. Those perks are all obviously very nice, but there are some bigger perks that you might actually like. At level 14, when you get resurrected, you actually get increased health and mana, meaning you need to eat less. Also, while you're dead as a ghost and run back to the raid or the dungeon, you get 100% increased movement speed. Then we have another perk, which basically every time you loot money from an enemy, an extra percentage of that money is generated and deposited directly into the guild. This obviously will probably get changed because people are just gonna make immense, huge guilds, use add-ons to automatically invite people to the guild and have those people level and loot and have them add money to the guild bank, which then most likely will get sold on G2G or other websites. At level 20, we have summon all raid or party members to the caster's current location. So basically everyone has a mass summon, which is amazing honestly because this helps a lot. If one person's in raid and other people aren't, this is just way faster to get the raid started. And then at the last level, level 25, everyone gets a mass rest. This will help your raid immensely, especially since that's going to cut down on a lot of raid time from running back into the dungeon, running back into the raid, running back to the boss. Now, of course, there are also other perks like increased experience, less durability when you die, increasing honor points, heroism points, and so on. But one thing people don't talk about are the two things that I actually think are the best. One perk increases the number of flasks gained from using a guild cauldron, which you will basically use a lot since these cauldrons spit out a lot of flasks and are way cheaper than actually crafting all those flasks. With the increase of the flasks gained by 100%, obviously it's going to double to 20, which is absolutely amazing. Then we have another perk which increases the buffs from all guild cauldrons and feast by 100%, meaning it's going to be double the duration, which is going to be super awesome due to the fact that you will use less flasks overall, meaning it will cut down on a lot of gold. Now you might ask, where do I get these cauldrons and fish feast from? Well, that is pretty simple. The guild also has something called guild achievements. There are certain achievements that give you certain things. As an example, all your alchemists in the guild need to craft a total of 1,000 Cataclysm flasks, which then gives you the Cauldron of Battle, which has 10 uses and is basically kind of like the 10-man cauldron. Then we also have the 3,000 Cataclysm flasks, which gives you the big Cauldron of Battle, which is the equivalent of the 25-man cauldron. Then we also have the Fish Feast, where you need to catch 10,000 fish from fishing pools, which gives you the Seafood Magnifique Feast, which will be used for raid basically every single time. Now, guild ranks and your own reputation which you have towards the guild also gives you certain things. There's a vendor that gives you mounts and pets and new collections of heirlooms. As you know, in Wrath of the Lich King, we got the collection tab, meaning you only need to buy an heirloom once and then it goes into your collection and you can use it as many times on as many characters as you want, which is super awesome because the heirlooms in Cataclysm are quite expensive, meaning you had to buy it multiple times if you wanted to play multiple characters at once. Then also under the guild tab, you will have something called professions, where you can see certain professions and who has them with what skill level. Then you can go into the profession tab and click on a certain profession and open up a window where you can actually look through all the things that your guildies can craft. If you want a certain thing, you can click on that one, and then on the bottom left it says view crafters, meaning you can see whoever can craft it. So you can just send them a mail with the reagents and they can craft it for you without you needing to ask, hey, who can craft Hellfire Tome? A really big thing in Cataclysm will be Reforging. Basically, you take an item, go to this NPC, and you take one stat that the item has and you can convert it to any stat you want, meaning you can reach the hit count, cap easier, or if an item has an unfortunate stat that you don't really need because you maybe even reached the soft cap for it, you can change it out for a different stat. Now coming to races in Cataclysm, bots get a new race called Goblin, which can be Shaman. The ratio is 1% haste, a rocket jump or rocket shooting towards a target, and the best deal for gold passive, which basically means whenever you sell something to vendors, you just get more gold. One bad thing that happened is Draenei hit buff is now personal and no longer a group buff. But now also dwarves can be shamans, so you can technically have a different approach for alliance with another user's racial. Another quite important thing is the fact that stats got combined. As an example, spell power got removed as a stat, but now we only have intellect. So intellect will increase your mana, spell power, and spell crit, meaning we will now snapshot our fire ally with intellect instead of spell power. But weapons still have spell power on it, and as far as I know, the orc ratio still gives you spell power instead of intellect, which still helps to snapshot, so I don't really know where they were going with this. Obviously, one important and very obvious change is the fact that there will be new quests for all the classic zones, which result in faster leveling. Blizzard also said that they want to speed up the leveling process from 60 to 80, but not devalue the zones you're leveling in. So I don't really know what they're gonna do, probably just give you 50% XP buff. Also, rares in the new classic zones give very insane XP, so killing them during leveling is recommended. One really cool thing as well is that dungeon quests are now inside the dungeon, so you do not have to do any weird pre-quests anymore or go to certain spots to pick them up. Cataclysm just feels overall way better with every single spec that you play. You have harder raids that finally challenge you that you don't run through, and 10 man and 25 man drops the same loot, meaning if your guild might fall apart and you just have the homies where you have 10 people, you can still experience the full experience of Cataclysm, getting the same loot as everyone else, just in a lower quantity. I really hope this gave you a bit more information about Cataclysm. If you enjoyed it, obviously give me a like and subscribe. I will do more videos like this in the future, so I shall speak to you later.